Ja, willkommen bei einer Sonderrevision von Working Draft, nämlich die Revision 48, direkt von der Tellerrand-Konferenz in Düsseldorf, wo endlich mal alle unsere Gastmoderatoren zusammengekommen sind und ein paar Ehrengäste noch dazugekommen sind, wie zum Beispiel der David von der Technikwürze. Ja, und wir haben uns gedacht, dass wir heute mal den ersten Tag der Konferenz und vielleicht auch den Workshop-Tag Revue passieren lassen und sagen, was wir gesehen haben, was wir mitgenommen haben, was wir vielleicht gut fanden oder was wir auch doof fanden. Und ja, also ich kann ja mal loslegen, weil ich glaube, ich der Einzige war, der jetzt auf einem Workshop war. Gestern im Jacobi-Haus und da habe ich gelernt, wie ich mit wenigen Zeilen Code Partikelsysteme bauen kann und Bäume wachsen lassen kann und das war super cool. Das hat sich auf jeden Fall gelohnt. Eigentlich ist es ein Workshop, der über 2 Tage geht. Dementsprechend ist es so, dass das Ganze ein bisschen kompakt war. Aber es war super cool. Ist so eine Herzenssache, mit der man wahrscheinlich kein Geld verdienen wird, jemals. Nicht mal an Weihnachten, wenn man ein bisschen Schnee fallen lassen kann über die Webseite. Aber es ist super cool und ich würde jedem empfehlen, wenn der Sepp nochmal in der Gegend ist und so einen Workshop hält, Creative.js heißt es, dass man das macht. Also weil das super cool ist. Genau, der andere Workshop, der war von Jeremy Keith über Responsive Web Design und der war aber eben parallel. Hätte ich mir theoretisch auch angeguckt, aber ja, ich kann mich ja nicht klonen. Genau. Ja, dann gebe ich mal an dich weiter und du kannst ja mal erzählen, wie der Tag so begonnen hat oder was wir vielleicht gestern gemacht haben. Was haben wir denn gestern Abend, nachdem ich beim Workshop war, gemacht?
Vielleicht sagst du noch kurz deinen Namen, dass jeder dann weiß.
Genau, ich bin der Maik Wagner und bin hier einer von den Gästen, die mal da kurz dazwischen schauen. Wir waren gestern Abend auf einer Warm-Up-Party. Wir waren im Schlüssel in der Altstadt in Düsseldorf, haben da vom Smashing Mac aus organisiert, zusammen mit dem BPSE, halt so eine Warm-Up-Party gemacht, um schon die ersten Leute zu treffen, die auch zu der Konferenz kommen. Sehr internationales Publikum. Ja, war spaßig, wir haben Altbier getrunken, klassische Brauhauskost gegessen, immer wieder lustig zu sehen, wie internationales Publikum mit Eisbein umgeht, solche Sachen sind einfach immer wieder dabei.
Du bist es ja gewohnt eigentlich.
Genau. Wir waren dann auch, alle, die gestern noch auf der Piste waren, wir waren dann erst um 4:30 im Bett, ne? Aber, ja, das ist David
meine
erst
Frau
aufgewacht.
Nein, wir waren nicht um 4:30 im Bett, nein.
Um 5.
Ja.
Ja. Ja, ich auch.
Ja, uns wurde noch ein Koffer geklaut, was halt passieren kann und das war dann auch noch mal ein bisschen verlängernd, also es hat quasi den ganzen Abend um 5 Stunden verlängert, weil wir ja schauen mussten, ob der Koffer hinter der Bar ist vielleicht oder ja, wie es so sein kann. Genau.
Und du bist ja der?
Der Marc, ja, Marc Hinse, made my day. Und jetzt weiß es auch meine Frau, die davon nie irgendwie was mitkriegen will. Ja, wie fandet ihr den heutigen Tag? Rodney,
Super.
Sag doch erstmal, wer du bist. Rodney.
Rodney. Ich war letzte Woche schon dabei. Mal wieder.
Die Tonqualität heute ist super bei dir.
Die Tonqualität ist heute bei mir wesentlich besser. Heute haben wir nämlich mal richtiges Equipment und
Versprich nicht
kein
zu viel.
Skype. Ja. Und eine Videokamera. Ich weiß nicht, was
Da
du
ist eine
damit
Videokamera.
vorhast, aber das irritiert mich.
Können wir
so
bitte
ein
alle
bisschen.
mal winken?
Ich brauche halt was in der Hand gegen euch.
Okay, meine Ecke hat es mitbekommen.
Ja.
Mein Name ist David Maciejewski. Vielleicht kennt der eine oder andere mich aus Technik Würze oder Technik Load, Video- und Audio-Podcast. Ja, ich fand es in erster Linie mal interessant, euch alle kennenzulernen heute. Also viele von euch sehe ich ja zum ersten Mal, selbst im Shep Ist immer ein cooles Erlebnis, wenn ich alle aus Twitter, Facebook und Google Plus und wer weiß ich nicht kenne oder E-Mails oder eben von unseren Sendungen, die wir so produzieren. Und dann alle mal in Real Life zu sehen, ist irgendwie was Bekanntes, aber auch was Fremdes. Ja? Also von daher ist nicht schlecht. Aber großes Lob natürlich an den Marc Thiele, der das ganze Ding veranstaltet hat hier. Also ich finde es eine coole Location. Das ist so ich war noch nie im Puff, aber ich stelle mir so vor, so muss ein Puff aussehen. Also es sind so runde Tische mit roten Lampen und eine Bühne. Also total intim, aber ich fand's cool. Also schöne Atmosphäre und ich dachte, also nachdem ich mich damit abgefunden hatte, dachte ich, ja, ist cool. Finde mich damit ab und die ersten Sessions waren so ein bisschen seicht am Anfang. Für euch vielleicht gar nicht so schlecht, weil ihr so lange gefeiert habt gestern. Seicht, also ganz gut, ja, gut zu verdauen. Ja, und dann ging es natürlich gut weiter und dann kamen wirklich die Inhalte und zum Schluss haben wir die Session gesehen, mit dem war das? Ich habe seinen Namen noch nicht so drauf. Stapel, genau. Richtig geile Coding-Session, wo er uns gezeigt hat, wie er mit so ein bisschen JavaScript was zaubern konnte. Was mich so beeindruckt hat, der wusste alles im Kopf. Ja, der hat das wahrscheinlich, ich weiß nicht, wo der seine Freizeit hernimmt. Ja, aber heute zum ersten Mal gemacht. Total cool. Nachher haben wir ja noch eine Session. Um 20 Uhr. Freue ich mich auch drauf, vor allen Dingen den Tag morgen. Und ja, dann gebe ich einfach mal weiter. Ja? Nicht nur, dass ich zu Wort komme.
Ja, hallo. Mein Name ist Sven Wolfermann, besser bekannt auch als Mad Designs und so einigen CSS3 Sachen. Und ich fand es heute auch sehr interessant. Es war ein guter Mix zwischen designlastigen Themen, also zum Beispiel Going Beyond von Naomi Atkinson. War ein sehr, sehr schönes Thema. Aber auch so Mobile-Apps with JavaScript. Vom Heiko Behrens fand ich eigentlich auch eine gute Übersicht, was man wie halt machen kann. Und von daher ist es ein gutes, gemischtes Programm. Wollen wir mal schauen, was morgen noch so passiert. Ich denke mal, ist auf jeden Fall sehr interessante Veranstaltung und bestimmt nächstes Jahr noch mehr besucht. Wollen wir doch mal hoffen, ja. Willst du auch was sagen, Hans?
Ja, ich kann auch was sagen. Ich bin der Hans-Christian Reinl, vielleicht auch bekannt als Drublick. Ja, zum Schedule wurde ja jetzt schon einiges gesagt. Ich fand auch den Talk vom Heiko Behrens ziemlich interessant mit den Mobile Apps. Aber ja, was ich ein bisschen enttäuschend fand, manche Vorträge waren einfach nicht so ganz, nicht so bis zu Ende gedacht. Also sie waren schon teilweise vielleicht auch einfach nur vor einem größeren Publikum zum Ausprobieren. Weiß ich jetzt aber auch nicht, wie ihr das seht. Vielleicht seht ihr das ja auch ganz anders. Zum Beispiel hier, Marc.
Ich weiß nicht, warum wir das Ding rumreichen. Wir waren ja schon da. Wir waren physisch da und wir waren auch absolut mental auf der Höhe. Wir sollten eigentlich mal sagen, was die eigentlich gemacht haben. Jetzt muss ich doch drauf schauen. Also wir hatten ein paar Talks hier. Das erste war Chris Heilmann von Mozilla. Code Poet kennt jeder, glaube ich. Hat, fand ich, einen sehr guten Start hingelegt. Vor allem sehr schnell. Lag daran, dass das Ganze eine halbe Stunde später angefangen hat, was nicht an uns lag. Das war insofern interessant, weil es nicht Mozilla-lastig war, sondern es war eigentlich, sagen wir mal, schon generell Browser-lastig. Das heißt, was kommt Neues auf uns zu in Chrome und Mozilla? Da sind coole Sachen dabei auf jeden Fall. Also übrigens, die ganzen Sachen gibt es auf Video irgendwann mal zum Anschauen. Und also Chris Heilmann, absolute Empfehlung, kann man sich anschauen. Danach kam Truth, Cheat Your Way with UX, hatte ein bisschen Längen, war nicht so meine Art Vortrag. Ja, muss man mal überlegen, also können wir noch drüber reden. Dann kam Aaron Gustafson mit Progressive Enhancement, war äußerst interessant, war aber eher wirklich auch eine Einführung. Dann kam Lovely Naomi mit einem, fand ich, sensationellen Vortrag. We will switch to English in a couple of minutes. Da wird sie gleich selber was drüber sagen. Dann hatten wir eben die Mobile Apps von Heiko Behrens, fand ich äußerst interessant, eher so ein technischeres Thema. Dann der Chef vom Smashing Magazine, Vitali Friedmann, über die Invisible Side of Design. Ich denke, da könnten wir auch drüber diskutieren, über den Vortrag, über den Inhalt. Teilweise etwas konträr die Meinungen dazu. Und am Schluss der Sepp Lee, der schon erwähnt wurde, der hat coole Sachen gemacht. Ich denke, die werden wir auch nochmal beleuchten. Ja.
Does any one of you here in this round have any questions towards Naomi? Go ahead.
Well, Naomi, what was your talk about today?
Today it was all about self-promotion and kind of looking at a different industry for different techniques that we could use. So I look towards the celebrity market, which, as we all know, they have no fear in self-promotion at all, and just paralleling some of the things that they do in what we can do. So it was a bit of a kind of broader thinking talk, and just hopefully gave a little bit of inspiration to people to think outside of the box when it comes to promoting yourself or your studio or potentially your agency too, but really thinking about how you are perceived to other people, whether that's potential employers or potential investors even in the future, and just to be very, very aware of your self kind of brand, if you like.
So you started a little bit surprising your talk with how's she called, your English celebrity?
Jordan, yeah.
And I think we know her in Germany because of her two brain sides, which are very, very big, and she's very smart.
Yeah.
And we also have some kind of her in Germany.
Sure.
It's
I'm sure.
quite the same, and she's very successful.
Yeah.
And so what was the point of showing us the success of such a celebrity, and what can we as perhaps little web designers and web developers take from this story, from this celebrity story?
Okay, well, I mean, taking someone the likes of Jordan is obviously not what you would expect at a WebGeek conference. I'm quite sure everyone in the room went, what the hell are you doing? But that was kind of the whole point. The whole point is to take it completely out of the context of what we do and think about every day and kind of take it to the extreme. So look at someone like that who is all about herself, as I'm sure the celebrity over here is too. And we all have one in whatever country we're from. There's always someone like that who gets absolutely everywhere, and you just think, oh, get off my TV or my radio or this magazine or whatever it is. But the point is to kind of take that and actually see that they, although they just come across as being very, very self-obsessed, they're actually doing a good job in promoting themselves to their target audience, which is the everyday person who reads gossip magazines, this kind of thing. It's actually quite ironic that I was talking about celebrities at all, because I'm far from the kind of person who cares. Like, I really, really don't care about celebrities at all. If someone said to me the other day about some celebrity couple splitting up and I said I didn't even know they were married, like, I really, really couldn't give a hoot. So it's kind of ironic, but that's kind of what I wanted to try and do today, in that in a lot of my work, I kind of always tend to look at different industries. Not, I don't really look at the celebrity industry a lot, but I look at kind of the car industry or a different kind of product industry in a lot of my thinking that I do throughout my work. So this was kind of, in terms of self-promotion, trying to take it to the extreme of who is the ultimate kind of best industry at doing that. And that is the kind of celebrity market, because their success depends solely on that. So.
And I think the second side you wanted to show us was not only to self-promote and to go to different markets or to all markets and promote yourself, but also to do something good. Like the second celebrity you mentioned was Jamie Oliver, which is also well known in Germany. Yeah. And you said he had another approach for self-marketing or self-promotion.
Yeah, he does. I mean, Jamie Oliver is obviously very well known in his own right, and was only kind of only became famous to us because of being promoted as the Naked Chef, as we were introduced to him. And, you know, it was a cookery show that, you know, it went down well. But he then used that fame to go on and really do good with that. And I think there's something in that for everyone at this conference. Everyone is at this conference and who speaks at these events and that kind of thing has that kind of aura around them. You know, they're known, people follow them, we follow, all of us follow each other on Twitter, we get inspiration from each other. And I think that if one or a group of us start to actually see the gaps across the world that actually we could make a lot better. Like, you know, I mentioned about the Brooklyn Beta Conference. So we were talked to from the likes of the education industry and the medical industry, and kind of you do start to realize that there are huge things that are far, you know, behind in terms of what we all know and love technology-wise and what's going on the web. We're so much far advanced, but we kind of get, unfortunately, we get in our own kind of industry too much. We kind of get blinkered, and we try to improve on the things that we get passionate about. But, you know, a website about coding or a blog that we're all kind of like really into isn't particularly doing any good in the world. So, you know, what can we do to really open that up and use what we know for the greater good, if you like, without sounding too corny. But, you know, as I mentioned in my talk as well, business is still business. I mean, there's money to be made in these areas. It's not as if we have an excuse not to go down that path or not to have been down that path. You know, we can still make money out of it. So we should be trying to make things better and really trying to improve on those industries that really need it.
I guess maybe an analogy is when you are a developer and you push your project onto GitHub or something, and you just offer it to everybody to use for free, then you're doing something good, but your, let's call it karma, rises.
It is, and the whole of our industry has that mentality. Everything being open source, you know, that's in us. We all love to share. So if we can put that in better use in terms of our clients and the people that we work with and for and enthuse, then the more the better, really.
Yeah, and I guess in Germany there's also still a higher need for people to communicate, to self-promote more.
Yes.
This is also what Rodney found out at the Zurich conference.
Yeah.
Where everybody, or where the American people think the European or the Germans are maybe never talking about anything.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I would be really interested in your guys' opinion in terms of, because I feel like the UK and America team up a little bit, and the rest of Europe is kind of outside of that conversation. I'd love to kind of open up that conversation, because I personally want to be closer to you guys rather than the Americans. You know, we should be working together as a team more so than England pairing up with Americans just because we speak the same language.
Yep. I guess it's a language thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And do you think it's a language thing?
Yeah, totally. Yeah? Because we have enough Germans, which means we get our movies dubbed. Everybody, nobody learns English like the Scandinavian people, maybe, or the Dutch people, who are really good English speakers, and they Twitter in English, and the Germans just Twitter in German. They connect with each other, but it's a closed circle. So
well, I mean, you say it's a problem because Germans don't speak English. It's a problem because the rest of the world doesn't speak German.
Yeah, right.
And any other language other than English.
That's it. Yeah. Another question: which talk did you like most today? And which one do you anticipate from both days most? Maybe.
Good question. I think today the one that's going to stick with me the most is probably Seb's. Yeah. It was just so impressive, and he's such a character. And just to be able to kind of stand up on stage and spend so long in. He could, yes. He should be, if he's not already. He entertained me, to the core. Yeah, I'll remember that. And I'm kind of desperate to, even though my first, obviously my forte is not code, but it kind of makes me just want to delve into it straight away instead of drinking beer, which says a lot.
Yeah. I was at the workshop yesterday, and I saw also Steph taking part at the workshop. So.
Yeah, I kind of wish that I'd been there, to be honest, but finishing touches to the talk, unfortunately. But
okay, and do you have another one which you are anticipating?
For tomorrow?
Yeah.
Well, my other half, Dan's speaking tomorrow, so I have to say Dan Rubins will be very good.
But you know him well, and...
But Simon's always a great speaker, and John Tan is at the end of the day, and he's always great too. So all three of them, to be honest, will have really good things to say. Okay. Again, that's me saying it from an English point of view because they're the speakers that I know. But I'm also looking forward to seeing anyone that I haven't seen. It's always nice to see someone that I'm not used to hearing from. That's always refreshing. I hadn't actually seen Steph, so it was really nice to see Steph talking today. She had some really good things to say. So.
No, actually not. I think I wanted to point out the language barrier.
Yeah.
This is, I think, UK people team up with the English-speaking people, and there are also some English tweeting people here in Germany, but they are not. I think that good, integrated into the UK system, and there are really good coders that come from foreign countries and now live in the UK. For example, the creator of JS Fiddle, he moved to London and is now working with Mozilla, and they all just concentrate on the UK or in America. And there is also one German guy, Malte Ubel, I think it's his name. He's now working for Google, and he's moving to the Silicon Valley because the people are going there and working there and not working in Germany, even if they talk English very good or try to participate to the community with in English.
Right. Yeah. But do you guys feel like there's a real community here though, aside from it being completely separate? Do you feel like there's a real community for the web here?
Yeah, there is. I think there is a German community. I think, I'm not that long in that community, but others are. Yeah, but the German communities or some parts are here, I guess. And there are also, in each country you can see this. I was on actually with Christian and Sven. We were on Frontiers in Amsterdam, and it was really great. And they had the Dutch community, and they were like, really known to each other. But also the other guys were very involved. And I hope that Beyond Tellerrand can be such a conference in Germany.
I think it definitely will be. I mean, you've Marc's done a fantastic job in getting some of the best kind of speakers here, and I think Marc's probably put Germany on the map in terms of the web community here. I don't think anyone's going to come away from this conference and not keep in touch with all of you guys. I think he's done that for you. I think from here on out it will be a lot easier to make that connection.
But I think the language gap is still existing.
Yeah, I do.
And so this is like, you're now here in this podcast, but probably you will never ever listen to this podcast because it's in German usually, and that's the thing. If we would, the guys from the Working Draft podcast would switch to English, they would get a wider, wider audience. But and somehow it's pretty cool to be in German, and so every even a beginner or a student or whatever could participate in German,
and
that's great.
And it's important to teach what you guys know to your fellow Germans. You don't just want to go to a second language just so that it opens it up to the rest of the world. You guys have got to keep that there. I don't know. Do you guys do subtitles?
Subtitles?
Maybe you should just do subtitles.
Write
it in English.
Right. That would be a great idea.
Usually it's an audio podcast, so it's very difficult to provide subtitles.
Right. I just wanted to point out one thing I read the last week about Leah Veru.
Yep.
She's a Greek person, and she said she was never well noticed when she lived in Greek.
Yep.
and spoke Greek language.
Right.
How do you call it? Greece? I don't know.
Yeah, Greek.
Greek. Yeah, right. And but later on, she tried to focus to speak only English.
Yep.
and then she got famous out of a sudden. And yeah, this shows the whole progress.
Let's move on, Germans.
I think it's a slightly bigger issue to do with the world today, to be honest, rather than our industry specifically. It's an unfortunate thing, and I can't really speak because I speak a bit of French, and that's about my limit. I learned German for about a year at school, so it's pretty terrible other than about 3 words.
Which words? Hello?
Guten Tag.
Very good.
Which is haben the same? Is it like hello? Hi?
Yeah.
Okay. And is it ich bin Naomi? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's probably
the
full extent of what I remember from school, which is atrocious. So yeah, I think it's probably a bigger issue than just our industry, unfortunately.
So probably also your conclusion of your talk today was to focus on gaps, on details, where everybody, even the smallest developer or whatever, can change something and can move something.
Yes.
And also, for example, a German developer who has perhaps is afraid of the German of the English language, can participate in contributing code or something, and trying to, even with the worst English, he can contribute. He can say just share it and just try to talk. No English speaking person, I think, is angry when someone is trying to explain himself and I don't know, but I think just try it. And
exactly.
Then you also can learn it. Just do it.
Absolutely, just put yourself out there. I mean, everyone has all the patience in the world for someone who doesn't speak the language. I mean, as I say, most English and Americans don't speak your language, so the fact that you're even trying to speak our language is fantastic to me personally, and I'm sure to anyone else out there who's
perceive
pretty
it like this.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, if you,
I think sometimes you think, okay, everybody's talking English, and it's a big island of language. But if you try to speak English and you're not that good, you're kind of, there's a frontier, and then I don't know.
No, like everybody will really appreciate it, no matter how little or how much you can speak. If your language is limited, that's absolutely fine. You can still get your point across. And as you say, like people just becoming part of things and adding to things, maybe commenting on things, and adding to like open source code and that kind of thing is amazing. I mean, we've got some personal kind of experience with working with a foreigner. We work with Maciej on Animatable. I don't know if you guys have heard of Animatable. Myself and Dan Rubin and Andy Clark are kind of working on it. And Maciej is the brains behind it all. He's Romanian, so his first language isn't English. And sometimes there's stumbling blocks where we're like, oh, how do we say it? How do we say it? And the thing is, like, we're all kind of so impressed by him. He's a genius. Completely impressed by him that we have all the time in the world. If he can't find a word, it doesn't matter. We'll wait, or we'll try and help him find that word. Because what he does is fantastic, and his ideas are amazing. So I don't think that, I mean, I hate that language is a barrier, but to be fair, I felt bad coming here to your country and speaking English on stage. I would much rather try and go and speak German, but you guys wouldn't learn a thing because, unfortunately, it would just, take me all day to say one sentence. But that's kind of the attitude, from my point of view anyway, certainly the attitude of all of the English that I hear today, and I could probably speak on behalf of most of the Americans. We feel guilty that we travel to other countries and can't communicate in your language because we'd much prefer to. So we have all the patience in the world for any language barriers.
There's 2 things you should keep in mind. For one, it's a big difference between speaking a language and understanding the language.
Yes.
So listening to you talking in English is not a problem.
Okay.
Talking, speaking to you.
Yep.
In English
is harder.
And that's a problem most people don't know how to overcome.
Yep.
And the second thing is, we don't usually speak. We don't talk. We write.
Okay,
You know,
yep.
you write.
Yep.
You're sitting at a computer. You're
Yep,
typing,
all day, every day.
and you have all the time in the world
Yeah,
to go look it up in the dictionary or whatever.
exactly.
It's not a
Yep.
problem. And
It
really,
shouldn't be. No.
no one cares if your English is good or not. You Germans, you'd be amazed at how many people you're communicating with in English that actually don't really speak the language.
No.
They're
No.
not English natives.
Yep.
It's happening to me all day. It's crazy. You don't notice it anymore.
No,
It's
you
just-
don't. You really don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And I know a lot of a lot of people who are actually native from other countries that speak better English than I do. So, so that says something. No, it shouldn't be a problem. I kind of hope it's not. And you're completely right in that it shouldn't be on the web, because we can type to each other. That's what we do most of the time. And there are ways of just writing something, translating it. Use a translator if need be. We can do that these days. It's good.
Well, another funny issue is I once read a letter and they said, okay, when talking to foreigners, they're all very polite and, oh, sorry, my English is not that good. And then have so many elaborate, okay, good example. Have really nice sentences and proper grammar, and then on the other hand they say, okay, I got that mail from that American guy and it's just, oh my god, what the fuck, and stuff like that, and can't articulate it himself.
Okay, so you're saying like an email from an American versus an email from a foreigner?
Yeah.
I think if anybody judges you on that, though, they're wrong, and you shouldn't be wanting to work with someone like that. I honestly don't, because it shouldn't go on language. It should just literally go on the work that you do and the thing that you're passionate about. So if someone picks up some code that one of you guys have done, or a design that what someone's done, and they really love it and it's really great, then that's what they care about. Yeah. It's like I say, when we work with Maciej, he's this absolute genius, and luckily we bumped into him at a conference and we all spoke to him, and he showed us this amazing thing which we're making happen, and those connections happen all the time, and that's kind of proof in the pudding, as we say in England. It's kind of proof that can happen, and great relationships can start regardless of where you're from.
Okay, anybody, any further question for Naomi?
I wanted to ask you about another point. You said you were a designer on your own, a freelance or whatever before,
Yes.
and now you're working with a team. You said you worked with them before, and
Yep.
they were like maybe coders or something, and a project planner or whatever.
Yep.
And are you now working with them in an agency? Is it your own agency or what? And do you think it is very important to not work as freelance, but to work as an agency if you want to get the whole project, as you pointed out? Would you say it is also possible to get big clients, for example, if you're working freelance?
Okay, so just to explain again what I kind of spoke about today, when I first went out freelance, my website was very obviously, it was me on my own as a freelancer. But the kind of work that I was getting for the first year was very design-based. So it was like, Naomi, can you design this and give me the PSD? And obviously in the web world, no one likes to do that. We know that we'll hand that PSD over and we'll get it back and it looks awful and it's nothing like what we wanted it to be. And obviously we don't, then I'm not involved in the whole interaction of it, the feeling of it, the experience is lost. So what I kind of decided to do was introduce a team section on the website that introduced the people that I would work with on an everyday basis. And that's kind of brought in bigger projects. Now, what I will say, though, is that I'm very, very open with my clients, and I'll still tell them I do work for myself, I'm self-employed, as are the other people in my team, they're all self-employed too. But when the project needs it, we'll come together and we'll work together on something. And that team is only it only covers front end as well. I don't have any back end, not on the website anyway. So if someone comes and they need back end sorted, I'll say, okay, well, as you know, like me and Ryan will work on this, or me and Dan will work on the beginning bit and introduce Ryan. But then when it comes to the back end, I'd actually recommend we use these guys. I'll introduce you. You can sort out the invoicing between you guys, but we'll all work together as a bigger team. So I basically introduce other people, and that includes you guys, like anybody who like I kind of trust to do really good work. We'll just work together as a larger group, and I'll always be honest with my clients and say that we're all separately self-employed, but we'll work together when it's relevant.
So the point she's trying to make is actually you don't have to be a company of 5 or something. You can be one person. You just gotta have a network of people you can work with when the job demands it.
Exactly.
It's pretty much what Christian and me are doing at the moment with a project of mine, with a customer of mine. The customer was told I'm incapable of doing it at the moment. I just don't have. I'm over capacity. So I need to bring in more manpower. The customer usually doesn't really care who you bring in.
The job gets
you
done.
are the guy they wanted, and you are responsible for the project to get done properly. So my customer will be talking to me with all the problems the customer has with what Christian did, but the customer would never talk to Christian directly. So it's fine with him, fine with me. He's got any background stuff, back end stuff. He was asking me if I could do any back end stuff for him for another client of his, which he was a subcontractor of. See, it's just spreading things around, and the point is. To make it clear you're capable of spreading it around.
Exactly. It's how you choose to promote yourself. So I still got work when I promoted myself as me, but I kind of get more work when I say, oh, but by the way, I work with all of these other people, so if you do need a bigger project, then those people are there. So.
Right, and another point that I wanted to ask you is how do you do the scaling thing? You have a client who wants a website in like the next 4 months. But 4 months is very much, but 4 weeks. And you wanted to go on vacation like in the next in 2 months. But the project will remain after this 4 weeks, and you have to do some other work and stuff. And how do you think customers react if you're just a freelance guy? Girl, whatever, and you are not there for them? Because I had the feeling that some bigger customers, especially, they need a special treatment.
Constant communication.
Right, and they don't like it if you're away for 1 week or stuff.
I think there's 2 questions in that, but to answer the last one first, I think you have to be really careful when you choose to work with a client. So if a client comes to you and you explain how you work and you say, okay, so we're a really small team, or it's just me, because that's all that's needed on this project. You kind of need to understand that I'll be working on your project, but I might have one other project on the go or whatever. Or these are the times to expect communication with me. So I'll schedule things from the start. So I'll say, okay, we'll have a catch-up meeting on this date at this time. We'll have another one at this date at this time, and I try and stick as much as I can to that schedule so that the client always knows when you're going to speak to them, and you're not going to be on the phone all day, every day, because you can't be, otherwise you'd never get any work done. And if they have a problem with that at the beginning, then you know that they're not the kind of person that you can work with, unfortunately. And they do need to then go to a bit, you can say to them, well, if that's what you're after and you want a project manager and that kind of thing, then you do need to go to a larger agency. And your former question was about, scheduling. Again, it's all about scheduling. So if a client comes to me and says, I need this within 4 weeks, which happens often, as you guys, I'm sure, are aware, then I'll say, okay, is there a reason why you need it for 4 weeks' time? What's the reason why? Is there an event that's happening? Are you pushing a promotion or a website update out at that point, and why? Or, why is it then? Most of the time, a client says, oh, there's no reason, I just want it done ASAP, as soon as possible. If there's no reason, then you can say, okay, well, unfortunately, we're fully booked for the next 4 weeks. But if you're willing to wait until this time, when you've got an opening in the schedule, then we can talk some more, and we can talk about doing it then. But if something is scheduled in, I'll just be honest with the client and just say, I'm sorry, we don't have any time until X date, whatever date in the diary that we do.
Okay, so I guess we won't hold you back from networking and having and relaxing now at the party.
Yes,
or at the beginning of the party.
I can have a beer.
Sorry?
Yeah, one more talk.
Yeah, but I guess it's more of a fun talk. Yeah, and everybody should watch your video, which I guess will be published.
I do think that they're publishing it at some point, but I don't know any
I saw
other
a camera running, so...
Yeah, it should be online at some point, so...
And again, really nice talk. You said it was your first talk?
My first official talk on my own. Dan and I did a small 30-minute talk on Friday, but if any of you know Dan, you'll know that he speaks so much that I'll be lucky to get a word in edgeways. So, you know it. That went fine, but it wasn't really just me standing up with my sole opinion. So, first official talk. So hopefully it inspired people in some way, but we'll see. The feedback so far has kind of been pretty good. Obviously, there's things that I could work on, and I was obviously nervous, but that will hopefully just improve. But
I guess. Well, we think it was really good. It's great. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Well, and thanks for doing this. This has been great.
And thanks for being here. Thanks a lot.
And we'll make sure that we all stay in touch.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we follow each other on Twitter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
First woman ever in this podcast.
No.
I think it's edition 48. I think. Yeah, it's 48. Something.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not by intention. Yeah,
there's your problem right there.
Web workers in Germany.
Of course. So.
It's not popular. Not popular in Germany then.
I'll say it again. We need more female web workers in Germany. Are you getting all the ladies?
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Just one last question.
Yeah.
Do you have any recommendation for our listeners? So for their company, or what should they do? What is the most important thing to do for a successful agency?
In terms of their own agency, if they run their own?
Yeah.
Or, well, obviously today's talk was just about getting yourself out there and being seen. So I think it's opening their mind up to maybe talking to the rest of the world more. I don't know, not letting a lot of the things that we've talked about already today, to be honest. And if there's something specific, I suppose another kind of angle on what I was speaking about today was if there's something specific that they want to do or achieve, then to try and concentrate on that solely for a while. So if there's a specific kind of industry that they want to work with or a specific company, some work that they want to win, then go and impress them. Like just go and do something that you wouldn't usually do in a typical agency environment.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
So thanks for being here.
Thank you.
I think we have to switch to German again. Yes?
Of course.
So see you later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ja. Und damit kurz zu Deutsch. Das war Naomi, wie heißt sie? Bertkens, genau. Sehr interessant. Also ich hoffe, ihr konntet uns ein bisschen folgen, dass wir von Deutsch auf Englisch geswitcht sind. Aber wir hatten die Sprachbarriere auch angesprochen. Ich denke, interessanter Talk. Haben wir sonst noch irgendwas offen?
Bezüglich Naomi? Glaube ich nicht.
Nö, grundsätzlich so.
Bezüglich heute
Also wie
Abend?
gesagt, es gibt ja noch eine Session, die wir uns anschauen werden. Gleich. Und dann noch ein schönes, werden wir noch einen gemeinsamen guten Abend verbringen. Ansonsten denke ich, wie viel Zeit haben wir auf der Uhr?
Lass mich gucken.
Auf jeden Fall eine riesengroße Runde. Wir haben das ja auch Video aufgezeichnet. Wir packen in die Shownotes auf jeden Fall nochmal die Links zu Naomi und die Links zu den ganzen Slideshows, damit ihr nochmal sehen könnt, wo was heute gesprochen wurde und wie und was. Und dann könnt ihr auch Naomi nochmal auf dem Bildchen sehen. Und ich glaube, wir packen auch mal die Namen von allen drauf, die heute hier waren. Denn von den Stimmen her, das nachträglich zuzuordnen, wer was gesagt hat, wird wahrscheinlich schwierig sein. Aber vielleicht klappt es dann mit dem Video hinterher.
Also 50 Minuten haben wir momentan auf dem Kasten etwa.
Ach, dann können wir doch noch eine Stunde.
45. Ein paar Minuten können wir doch schon noch machen.
Was heute nicht so gut war?
Die Kritikrunde, jetzt wird es aber übel.
Jetzt, wo die Frau weg ist, jetzt können wir wieder motzen.
Genau,
Ja.
auf Deutsch vor allem.
Also Made My Day will schon wieder nur motzen, wie immer.
Du hast Bier. Schade.
Schau mal da hinten.
Naja, auf jeden Fall lasst uns doch mal vielleicht kurz auf den Talk vom Vitaly kommen. Da gab es so ein paar Kritikpunkte, habe ich mitbekommen auf Twitter und auch anderswo. Wer möchte denn dazu
Ich sage ganz
machen?
kurz eins dazu. Das ist auch ein Punkt, den ich mit Vitaly nochmal selbst klären wollte. Er sagte nämlich, also das Problem, was wir alle Webentwickler irgendwo haben, ist, dass wir uns tagtäglich mit der Suche nach Inspiration befassen. Das heißt, wir gucken uns tausende Webseiten an, um uns inspirieren zu lassen, anstatt selbst inspirierend zu sein und einfach loszulegen. Das war das, womit er eröffnet hatte quasi. Das heißt, wir verschwenden einfach Zeit, anstatt einfach zu sagen, okay, das macht ja alles gut und ich lasse mich jetzt nicht deprimieren, sondern ich ignoriere das, habe ein weißes Blatt Papier oder habe einen weißen Bildschirm, wie auch immer, und ich fange von Null an und entwickle halt was Eigenes. Und er hat halt ein paar Beispiele gebracht, was einfach cool ist und was nicht so cool ist, aber die Message, die bei mir halt blieb, ist, seid selbst kreativ. Also lasst euch nicht einschüchtern von den anderen oder verschwendet eure Zeit, indem ihr das beste Produkt für euer neues Design sucht und macht eine Kopie, sondern macht was Eigenes. Also einfach loslegen. Just do it. Ja? Also das ist so der Tenor des ganzen Tages von allen, die hier heute gesprochen haben.
Also das Just do it und such entweder eine Nische oder such ein Problem und löse es. Das zieht sich hier wirklich durch und das ist eben halt auch das Thema mit dem Tellerrand. Ich meine, das passt wirklich perfekt eigentlich. Aber ich denke, wir können so einen Talk wie vom Vitaly schon mal durchaus auch mal kritisch sehen, ich denke, man darf auch mal eine Kritik üben, wenn man einfach mal mit vielleicht einer Aussage oder was auch immer nicht zufrieden ist oder irgendwie übereinstimmt. Und er hat ja gesagt, die Details, das Invisible Design war ja das Thema dieses Vortrags und hat ja auch gesagt, Invisible Design funktioniert dann, wenn man es nicht merkt, dass es funktioniert. Also du merkst ein schlechtes Design dann, wenn irgendwas kaputt ist. Und das ist natürlich vollkommen klar, und also was vollkommen klar ist, ist vollkommen richtig. Aber es wurde einfach auch gesagt, oder es wurde postuliert, zum Beispiel, man sollte A&B-Testing machen. Was natürlich dann etwas, finde ich, praxisfremd ist, weil natürlich wäre es super, wenn man in jedem Projekt von Anfang bis Ende testet, am besten mit 100 real existierenden Personen aus der Zielgruppe und am Schluss macht man vielleicht noch ein A&B-Testing aus den zwei am besten funktionierenden Alternativen. Aber das Problem haben, denke ich, die meisten, dass es sowohl budgettechnisch als auch zeittechnisch meistens nicht machbar ist. Und da sehe ich immer so ein bisschen das Problem bei solchen Talks, die natürlich aus einer Ebene vielleicht kommen, die so ein bisschen, das ist politisch, die Basis außer Acht lassen. Weil wir können es ja gar nicht machen, teilweise.
Ja, also er hat ja das Beispiel gebracht von 37 Signals. Bei den Jungs, die haben natürlich den Vorteil, die haben nur einen einzigen Kunden und das sind sie im Prinzip selbst. Ja? Wir bei T3N zum Beispiel, wir haben auch nur uns quasi. Und wir könnten das natürlich tun, genauso wie die es tun können. Nur, du hast natürlich recht, jetzt gerade im Agenturalltag, wenn du jetzt A/B-Testing machst, dann musst du es entweder vorher einkalkulieren oder du sagst dem Kunden, hey, wir würden gerne das noch ausprobieren, um da ein bisschen mehr Benefit zu bekommen oder ein bisschen User-Feedback, aber dazu müssen wir nochmal einen Tausender oder 2000er drauflegen, damit wir das initiieren können. Dann müssen wir es noch auswerten, dann müssen wir eine Analyse machen und dann müssen wir noch umsetzen. Und ich glaube, das, was du ansprichst, ist fern der Realität. Es stimmt schon, ja. Also das, was nicht ganz so umsetzen können vielleicht.
Ja, das ist, ist vollkommen richtig, aber was ich glaube, die Intention war dabei bei diesem Vortrag, es ging ihm nicht darum, dass jeder tatsächlich in Realität AB-Testing umsetzen muss, aber man wird ja dazu angeregt, trotzdem nochmal drüber nachzudenken, könnte ich es nicht doch einsetzen, vielleicht auch, wenn es nur ein eigenes Projekt ist, wo ich eh nicht Geld damit verdiene. Dass man kriegt einfach durch dieses AB-Testing, also ich habe es selber schon gemacht, man kriegt ein gutes Gefühl, was dabei passiert durch dieses AB-Testing. Man kriegt ein Gefühl, wie Leute eine Webseite anschauen. Man kann das Ganze natürlich mehr oder weniger detailreich machen, aber hilfreich ist es und wenn man weiß, wie das funktioniert, dann kann man das in die nächsten Projekte gleich von Anfang an einplanen und dann braucht man vielleicht gar nicht mehr das A/B-Testing so direkt live für den Kunden, sondern weiß von vornherein, okay, der Kunde tickt so, er geht so und so auf die Webseite und dieser Button muss größer sein oder grün sein und nicht rot. Wie es jetzt beispielsweise beim GitHub Close-Button bei den Bugs war, ist ja eigentlich ein gutes Beispiel dafür. Ich denke einfach, dass es gar nicht so direkt gemeint war, oder also dass es einfach überzogen gesprochen wurde, aber man soll drüber nachdenken, was das Ganze bedeuten soll. Und das Problem ist einfach, dass die Session generell einfach sehr anders war als der Rest. Der Rest war einfach technische Talks und dann kommt was wirklich nur mit Design und Abstraktion zu tun hat. Leider war ja der Workshop gestern auch nicht sonderlich gut besucht scheinbar von Vitaly Friedman, während die anderen komplett ausgebucht waren. Ich glaube, es hängt einfach damit zusammen, dass man als Entwickler auch gar nicht die Notwendigkeit sieht, sich mit sowas lange zu beschäftigen und man sich dann doch lieber mit dem Code, beispielsweise jetzt eben diese JavaScript-Animationen und sowas beschäftigt. Was einerseits schade ist, aber natürlich auch verständlich ist. Also, ja.
Ich möchte jetzt gerade noch mal 2 Schritte zurück zu dem Vortrag vom Vitaly, wegen dem A&B-Testing, weil das bleibt mir halt einfach so im Schädel, weil das wurde doch so heraus getragen, wenn du sagst eben, du hast da sehr, sehr viele Erkenntnisse raus. Ich finde, du hast genau eine Erkenntnis raus. A oder B. Das ist A/B-Testing, viel mehr ist es nicht. Im Endeffekt. A/B-Testing ist ein Instrument einer ganzen Latte von Instrumenten.
Natürlich hat man immer nur ein Ergebnis, ja oder nein. Aber
das ist halt einfach nur, es gibt meiner Meinung nach sehr, sehr viel wichtigere Tests, die du machen kannst, als jetzt eben zu sagen, ich nehme A oder B. Und der ganze Vortrag ging letztlich um User Experience, kann keiner lesen. Und User Experience ist das Ganze. Ja? Und A und B ist eine Entscheidung, klicke ich auf den Button oder nicht. Deswegen war ich halt nicht so ganz einverstanden mit diesen Sachen.
Dann sind wir so langsam am Ende angekommen. Ich möchte natürlich nicht das Schlusswort sprechen, weil es nicht mein Podcast, deswegen gebe ich nochmal rüber zu dir.
Aber auf jeden Fall cool, dass du dabei warst. Wir können ja öfter mal so ein Doppelding mal drehen.
Wenn es nicht über Skype ist, dann gerne, ja.
Okay, ist gebongt. Geht uns auch auf den Nerv. Ja, cool, dass das geklappt hat hier mit so vielen Leuten hier auf der Konferenz. Ich hoffe, dass der Ton auch so gut ist, wie das Equipment das vermuten lässt. Wir haben uns auf jeden Fall Mühe gegeben diesmal und ja, jetzt geht es noch in einen Fun-Talk rein. Genau, wir hätten gern Feedback von den Hörern, wie üblich in den Kommentaren auf unserer zugegebenermaßen nicht ganz userfreundlichen Seite oder per Audiobuch vielleicht mal. Genau, sonst müssen wir uns selber Feedback geben. Ja, vielen Dank an alle und bis nächste Woche dann wieder. Tschö. Ciao, ciao.
Das Chaos, das haben wir